You ever had a gut feeling that maybe you were meant for more, but you weren't really sure what the next best steps were to achieve it? Me too.
This is the draft report on you. Basically, it goes poor build, skinny, lacks great physical stature and strength,
lacks mobility and ability to avoid the rush, lacks a really strong arm, can't drive the ball downfield, does not throw a really tight spiral.
System-type player who can get exposed if forced to add lift.
and gets knocked down easily.
This skinny beanpole of a young man walked over to me and said, "Hi, Mr. Kraft. I want to introduce myself. I'm Tom Brady." I said, "I know who you are. You're our sixth-round draft choice." And I always remember he looked me like a laser eye to eye, and he said, "That's right, and I'm the best decision this organization has ever made."
Michael Jordan tells me one day he wants to be the best player that's ever played here. And I said, "Well, you got to work harder than you did in high school." He said, "I worked as hard as everybody else." I said, "Oh, excuse me. I thought you just told me you want to be the best player to ever play here." He said, "I'm going to show you. Nobody will ever work as hard as I work." But I think of 3 years of watching that youngster get better and better and better. Michael Jordan's the only player that could ever turn it on and off. And he never freaking turned it off.
I remember during one lunch break, I was in the car park and it was pissing rain down, and I just said to myself, there was some music playing, and it was like there wasn't even words to it, it was just a kind of a beat, and I got like I went somewhere with it, and I was like, I'm out of here, I'm gonna just drive out of this building, so I head home and pursue this dream of becoming a world champion in mixed martial arts, and that's what I did. I drove home. When I got home, my mother and father said, "How come you're not still at work?" And I said, "I'm never gonna go back to that site another day in my life." And then all hell broke loose. But I assured them that I was gonna go and do this. I was gonna put everything into it. And although they didn't understand that at that time, through hard work, through dedication, they saw what I was pursuing, and they supported me, and I done it. I did it.
There's people out there that are just working harder than everybody else, and they're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
And that's their grind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and those people are super valuable because they change everybody's perspective of like what's possible, what to strive for, and what it takes. Like, do you really want to be a champion? Why? Because you just want to be cool? You want to be the coolest guy on the block? Like, you're not going to win. You're going to find some fucking psychopath who just lives it. It's their whole life.
I'm not like everybody else. I don't want to be like everybody else. I have something inside which is burning. And I look around, and this life and everything I see is not for me. I'm supposed to be something different. I have to be something different.
Well, I always knew that I would be successful. It was never a question of whether or not I would be successful. It was just a matter of time. And you're born with the feeling that you're special. I know that sounds, and this isn't bold or anything.
Yeah,
I mean, you really have a feeling that you are here for something. And some people don't have that feeling. And when you have that feeling, you know.
I would like to know when you're in that moment failing and you have to keep going, what do you say to yourself?
What if? A lot of times I'll be in a 200-mile run or something like that, and I'm all jacked up. Body's broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I started to say, what if I can pull this off? When I first walked into the Navy SEAL recruiter's office, he looked at me and said, there's only been 35 African Americans in 70 years make it through. You know what I said to myself? What if I can be the 36th? It's the what if I can pull off a fucking miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? And just me talking about that, I have the hair going up on my arms because it makes me just like, what if?